Well, we have an update on the primary election now. The Republican race for governor is still too close to call. We just got updated numbers within the last 30 minutes, and Victor Marx has now moved into the lead. He is currently leading Barb Kirkmeyer by about 1,800 votes, with 90% of the vote in.
So whoever wins the race will take on Attorney General Phil Weiser in the general election after Weiser beat U.S. Senator Michael Bennet yesterday. Your political reporter Sean Boyd is here. Sean, this race is so tight. If Kirkmeyer pulls this out, it would be a huge victory for establishment Republicans.
Yes, no question. In most primaries across the country, we're seeing MAGA, not mainstream candidates win. Kirkmeyer could still buck that trend, but it's a different story for Democrats. Up and down the ballot last night, establishment candidates lost to socialists or far-left opponents, including the dean of Colorado's congressional delegation.
This was not the way I would have wanted to end my career in politics.
Congresswoman Diana DeGette is an icon in Colorado's Democratic Party. In any other election year, that would be an asset. Democratic analyst Sheila MacDonald says this year it was a liability.
The status quo isn't working is the biggest takeaway.
MacDonald says Democratic voters are anti-incumbent, anti-establishment, and anti-Trump. She says there is an ideological and generational war playing out in the party, and the far left won the battle Tuesday night.
We will not wait!
Malak Quiros, who defeated DeGette, is now the face of Democratic Socialists. Republican analyst Dick Wadham says she's also a gift to Republicans like Congressman Gabe Evans. His race could decide control of the U.S. House.
I think there could be something like the Quiros effect. I think Democrats are going to be on the defensive about it. She's not going to keep her mouth shut about all these extraneous issues.
Issues like U.S. support for Israel, which Quiros adamantly opposes.
I equate it somewhat to Lauren Boebert. She became kind of the lightning rod that kind of defined Republicans when she first got elected.
Because every Democrat is going to get pressed on those issues, and they better be prepared and have answers for them.
MacDonald says it's time Colorado's Democratic Party did some soul searching and team building.
Make sure we're not going the way of the Republicans went with the Tea Party.
She says the party should start with a deep dive into the Democratic Senate primary. Incumbent John Hickenlooper won the race, but lost 45% of the vote to a far-leftist state senator, Julie Gonzalez, who had no statewide name recognition and virtually no funding. Hickenlooper even lost Denver, where he was once mayor.
That's the canary in the coal mine for Democrats. And that is what we should be looking at and why that happened.
While Democrats are still expected to dominate in November, Wadham says winning the governor's seat won't be easy if Senator Barb Kirkmeyer is the Republican nominee. In addition to President Trump, he says Coloradans are also tired of one-party rule.
Barb Kirkmeyer is so strong, so thoughtful, so articulate that I think Weiser better not underestimate her.
The bipartisan Colorado Polling Institute released a survey today that sheds some more light on Malak Quiros' win. It found 52% of Denverites have a positive view of socialism, more than the 48% who view capitalism positively. Progressive candidates also prevailed in legislative races, taking out 2 incumbents. Democrats are now 1 seat away from a supermajority in the House and 2 seats away in the Senate. That would allow them to override a veto by the governor. We may not know who the Republican nominee for governor is until tomorrow. If there is a 0.5% difference in the votes between Kirkmeyer and Marx, there is an automatic recount. Right now, I don't think we're there, but these votes keep coming in, so we'll see.
It's been interesting to watch those numbers come in throughout the afternoon and see how they've really flipped that race.
All right, Sean, thank you.
Yep.